guard! Stand put! Fight for fire, your command! Forward! Push!
Probably know that the Civil War claimed more lives than any conflict in U.S. history. That war, in and of itself, required the establishment of the country's first national cemeteries. At these cemeteries, by the late 1860s, Americans in various towns and cities had begun holding springtime tributes to those countless fallen soldiers, decorating their graves with flowers and reciting prayers. But did you know that each year on Memorial Day, a national moment of remembrance takes place at 3 p.m. local time? It's unclear where exactly this tradition originated. Numerous different communities may have independently initiated these memorial gatherings.
Right! Feet! Present! Park!
Today is about the ones who did fight to the death so that we can continue to live in peace and freedom. It is our honored dead that we remember on this day, Memorial Day. I am sure that they, our honored dead, would not want to be remembered as its warriors. Most would want to be remembered for who they really were. They were sons and daughters. They were fathers and mothers. They were doctors and nurses and lawyers, and they were engineers. They were carpenters and plumbers. They were electricians and they were mechanics. They were farmers and ranchers. They were cooks and medics. They were police officers and they were firefighters. They were pastors and they were priests and they were rabbis. Basically, they were like all of us gathered here today. They were just plain, peace-loving Americans who gave the ultimate sacrifice, who demonstrated, as it says in Scripture in the Gospel of John in chapter 15 and verse 13, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. We honor those today who showed and demonstrated the greatest possible love, dying for our right to live in peace.
Order! On! Left! Face! Piper, fire, your command! Fire station! Drums a halt! Quick! Ha! Forward! Work!
So are we really a free nation? Yes, we are. We're free because of the sacrifices made by the men and women who have gladly served our nation, both in peacetime and in war. But freedom isn't free. It's paid for by the blood of those that we honor today. Those freedom-fighting, peace-loving souls that died so that we can live in the greatest country on earth. Every one of these brave soldiers, airmen, Marines, sailors, and guardsmen paid the price for your freedom and mine. They can all rest in peace because their honorable death allows us to live in peace. So let us not forget to honor and remember. Remember, we're peace lovers and freedom fighters. Those we honor took a solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. They also fulfilled a sacred calling, as we recall from Scripture in Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" Those we honor, all with willingness and peace-loving, freedom-fighting motivation, answered, "Here I am, send me." Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We come before you today with the POW MIA table bell ringing ceremony to remember the vast number of POWs and MIAs, especially MIAs, that are still unaccounted for. The table set before you is a place of honor. It is set for one. The table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our profession of arms are missing from our midst. They're commonly called POWs or MIAs. We call them brothers or sisters. They are unable to be with us today, so we remember them. The table set for one is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his oppressors. Remember. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. Remember. The single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the families and loved ones, our comrades in arms who kept the faith awaiting their turn. Remember. The red ribbon tied prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breasts of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. Remember. The candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unconquerable spirit. Remember. A slice of lemon on the bread plate reminds us of their bitter fate. Remember. There is salt on the bread plate, symbolic of the families as they wait, their tears as they wait. Remember. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this day. Remember. The chair is empty. They're not here. Remember. Remember all of you who served with them and called them comrades, who depended on their might and their aid and relied upon them, for surely They have not forsaken you. Remember. Remember. Remember until the day they all come home. Remember.
I'm Jackie MECK, Mayor of the City of Buckeye. I want to thank the military personnel for what they have done, the sacrifices that they have provided for Americans, not only in America, but here in the City of Buckeye. Thank you for the work you've done and the sacrifices that you've made. Today, Memorial Day, we think of you, we love you, and thank you for what you've done. Also, I'd like to thank the committee that put this together, the Patriotic Group, that has done all the work that they've done to make this another Memorial Day. I'm sorry that we cannot all meet together, but the virtual reality that we're in and the world we're in today with this pandemic, I thank you for going ahead and trying to make Memorial Day memorial. Thank you very much.